You're listening to episode 17 of Literacy in Color. Welcome to the Literacy in Color podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Sullivan, a science of reading advocate with over a decade of experience as a reading interventionist and literacy coach. I'm passionate about making evidence-based instruction both effective and engaging. If you're interested in captivating our learners on reading fluently and understanding language, or as I like to call it, keeping it colorful, then you've found the right place. Each week, we'll explore intriguing lit bits and practical strategies around the science of reading and structured literacy to help you be colorful and teach colorfully. Are you ready to bring literacy to life? Let's color outside the lines and make an impact together. Happy New Year's Eve! Can you believe we're closing out 2024? So no matter the ups and downs, I always like to close out the year and start the next in a state of gratitude. And I have to say, 2024 truly was lovely. I presented for a handful of conferences. I attended Lexia's Letters Applied conference this past summer and the Reading League this past fall. And I not only met some of my social media literacy besties in real life, but also some of my most admired icons in the literacy realm. And what else? Let's see, I launched my podcast. Hi, guys. And even my membership site, the Colorful Literacy Toolkit. So there's a lot to be thankful for. And if you're listening right now, please know that you as a listener are at the top of my gratitude list. So thank you for being here. So as we enter 2025, it's the perfect time to reflect on our wins, rethink our challenges, and set goals for the year ahead. And let's make a promise to each other. Let's not do the flaky resolution that falls by the wayside by February or March thing. Today, we're going to talk about turning your passion for the science of reading into practical, achievable goals that will make 2025 your best teaching year yet. So whether you're knee-deep in the science of reading or just beginning this journey, this episode is designed to help you reflect and create a roadmap for success. So grab a notebook or just take some mental notes and let's turn those resolutions into real, lasting results. So the science of reading gives us a research-backed foundation for teaching literacy. But to truly see the impact, we need to move from learning about the science of reading to intentionally applying it in our classrooms. The how. Goals give us direction, a roadmap. They help us prioritize what matters most or what to focus on first, whether it's strengthening our phonics instruction or creating meaningful vocabulary building opportunities, or even shifting your comprehension approach to more knowledge building. But before we dive into setting new goals, let's take a moment to reflect. Grab a piece of paper and jot down your thoughts, or if you're driving or multitasking, just think about these questions. What worked well in your literacy instruction this year? What are you proud of? Where did you feel stuck or wish you'd had done more? And what feedback maybe did you get from students or colleagues or even yourself that can guide your focus in 2025? Reflection is powerful because it helps us see both our strengths and our opportunities for growth. So take these thoughts with you as we move forward. Okay, now that we've done a bit of reflecting, let's talk about one of my favorite traditions to start a new year, picking a word of the year. Your word of the year is a single word that serves as a guiding light, your anchor, or your inspiration as you reflect on your intentions and hopes for the new year. I like to think of your word of the year as a compass, so it's not a detailed map of where you're going, but it points you in the right direction. It can keep you focused and grounded and motivated, even when things feel overwhelming. Your word can remind you of what really matters to you as an educator, whether that's growth or balance, joy, or something else entirely. So when you were just reflecting a moment ago on what went well and what was fulfilling and what you want to grow in, think about an overall feeling or an overarching idea that you'd like to set the tone for your goals. So just for reference, I typically use a personal word of the year and a professional word of the year. And insider secret, my professional word of the year last year was impact. Is there a word that ties your so-called hopes and dreams together? Think about your why, not to sound cliche, but the deeper purpose behind your work. Your word of the year might reflect that. So I'll throw out a series of words just for inspiration and see what makes your heart go pitter-patter. Transform, inspire, focus, simplicity, organize, apply, growth, purpose, empower, joy, impact, consistency. Don't overthink it. Sometimes the right word will just feel right. It might be a word that keeps popping up in your mind or something that speaks to where you are right now. Once you've chosen that word, display it somewhere where you'll see it every day, on your desk, your planner, or even as your phone background. For anyone who knows me on a personal level, I am really big into mindset. I will literally make a mini vision board as the background of my phone with my word of the year. So that's something I can look at and I can think about every single day, many times throughout the day, really. I'll link a free Canva template in the show notes so that you could do the same if you want. So moving forward, use your word as a lens for decision making. And when you're faced with challenges, ask yourself, how can I align this moment with my word of the year? At the end of the day, your word is there to inspire you, not to pressure you. It's a reminder of your values and the amazing work that you do. So now that we have our word of the year, let's make a SMART goal for ourselves as well. Remember, our word of the year is our compass. It shows us the direction we want to go, but our goal gives us the how we're going to get there. So when it comes to goal setting, vague resolutions won't cut it. You can even think about this from a personal perspective. How many times do you hear people say, I want to lose weight? Okay, great. They never actually lose weight. Now imagine this person chose their word of the year to be health. And then they created a SMART goal, something specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I want to lose 15 pounds. Specific number, measurable by pounds, and achievable in that it isn't an astronomical number. And I want to lose those 15 pounds in the next 3 months in order to improve my health. That makes it time-bound and relevant. So let's make this relevant to the science of reading. I often hear people say, I want to teach according to the science of reading. Well, beautiful. But what does that mean? What does that look like? What do you need to shift? What should you shift first? I really want you to keep the achievable aspect in mind because word to the wise, any teacher who tries to overhaul everything at once will either end up in a state of exhaustion or overwhelm and probably frustration. So this is your PSA that you don't need to change everything all at once in order to be a good teacher. Start with one thing, get really good at it. It will become second nature to you. And then you make a new goal, rinse and repeat. So here's how you can apply this framework to your science of reading journey. Go back to that reflection list. What did you do well? Where is an area you'd like to grow even more as an educator? Think about how this can tie into your word of the year. I'm going to paint a hypothetical. Perhaps you're really proud of how you aligned your high frequency words to your phonics scope and sequence. An area you'd like to grow even more is to learn new strategies to help students orthographically map words in their brain, aside from just phoneme to grapheme word mapping. Your word of the year professionally perhaps is variety. Maybe you're hoping to add a variety of tools to your repertoire, to your teaching toolkit. So let's use all this information to create a SMART goal. So first, let's be specific. Instead of saying, I want to learn more teaching strategies, we can say something more along the lines of, I want to explore and implement 3 new strategies for helping students orthographically map words in addition to phoneme to grapheme word mapping. It's going to be measurable. I will learn 1 new strategy each month during the next 3 months. It's got to be achievable. I'll dedicate 1 hour per week to researching or practicing these strategies using resources like professional books, webinars, or instructional videos. How's it relevant? This goal aligns with my word of the year variety by expanding my teacher toolkit and providing students with multiple ways to deepen their understanding of word mapping. and time-bound. By the end of March, I will have fully implemented at least 3 new strategies in my classroom and reviewed their impact on student learning. So when it's all put together, that SMART goal might sound something like, by the end of March, I will research, practice, and implement 3 new strategies for helping students orthographically map words beyond phoneme to grapheme word mapping. I'll dedicate 1 hour each week to learning these strategies and track both my use of them and student progress, ensuring alignment with my goal of introducing variety into my teaching toolkit. And if this really is your goal, I'm actually building a course called Word Mapping Mastery, which is all about orthographic mapping. I could link the details for that in the show notes. But at the end of the day, let's reframe New Year's resolutions from overwhelming year-long aspirations that often go unfulfilled into smaller, bite-sized, manageable goals that build on what you're already doing well. And really that genuinely excite you. Remember your word of the year? When we focus on achievable SMART goals, each success becomes a moment to celebrate, motivating us to set and crush the next one. So as we step into 2025, remember this: your work matters. Every phoneme you teach, every instructional strategy you refine, every student you inspire, it all makes a difference. Structured literacy is the gift that keeps on giving, and you're the one making it happen. So thank you for closing out the year with me, and I'm excited to see how you grow as a teacher and how your students thrive in 2025. Take a screenshot of this episode, write your word of the year, and tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Here's to a year of stronger readers, more confident educators, and real results. Happy New Year! Thank you so much for tuning into Literacy in Color. I hope today's episode left you feeling both inspired and equipped with something new to add to your teaching toolkit. If you're enjoying this podcast, it would truly mean so much to me if you'd leave a 5-star review. It helps other educators find the show and join our colorful community. And don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you never miss an episode. For more tips, tools, and resources, be sure to check out the links in the show notes at michelleandthecolorfulclassroom.com. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you next week. Until then, be colorful and teach colorfully.